Okay, here I'm working on the gimbal. This little bolt comes out and goes into a hole to keep the stove from going back and forth like that. When you're underway and the boat's tilting or heeling, you want the stove to heel with it, so whatever's on top of it won't burn. But when you're not underway, you don't want the stove tilting, because sometimes you're leaning on it and stuff. And this little hole wasn't quite enough to hold it in place, so I need to take this little plate off, make that another ½ inch thicker, and then put it back. But there's one screw that I can't get to. I can't reach. I don't have the proper equipment to do so. So I'm trying to figure out how to make that happen. I need a really short screwdriver, and I don't have one. So we'll see. Okay. To hold the stove out of the way with my knee just right. Pad to protect my knee there from that edge of that door. And I'm going to stick this guy in here just right. I might be able to turn that screw. The screw turns a little bit when I move the plate. It's hard to see, and it's really hard to get at. And it's a standard screw, not a Phillips screw. The two that were easy to get at were Phillips. The one that's hard to get at is not. Go figure. If it was Phillips, I could probably turn it. There we go. Got a millimeter.
So we need this little part to be thicker.
Quarter to ½ inch thicker, made out of a firm material. I mean, we have some nice pieces
washers?
of mahogany and stuff. Well, yeah, you need to be able to attach it to this.
And a washer you couldn't.
Depends. Maybe you could screw something on. That would work.
Okay.
A washer, yeah. Actually,
and
no.
so when you put the pin in there, it's slipping out. Which
right.
When we lean on this, which we have to lean on this to even reach the dishes,
right.
because it's super deep, then it pops out of there.
Yep.
Okay, and that's dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we've
this
almost
has to
fallen.
do better.
Okay.
And there are some nice pieces of mahogany wood upstairs. I think they're mahogany or teak. And
you could build it up a little bit.
Yeah, I can either build this one up or make a new one and put it back in there where it goes. Only we'd screw it on a little differently, so it comes off easier. But yeah, so that's what needs to happen.
Okay.
So we're gonna make that happen.
All right.
So we have a proper gimbal preventer, I guess is what you might call that.
Right. Gimbal preventer. Yeah. Because when we lean on it, it can't be gimbaled. It has to be stationary.
This is a nice oven. It needs cleaned up and needs a little work.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little oven. I plan on using it a lot. I
Yeah.
like to.
We all were coming into warmer or cooler months.
Yeah.
We haven't
wanted
cooked,
to
right?
cook it all. We made 2 pizzas in it and a few things on the stove.
Can you see what the temperature is over there right now? Is it like 80?
It says 80.
Wow. Yeah. And we
but
seriously.
That's up in there. That's a hot corner.
That is a hot corner. But we haven't really had it over 84 most days
Under
this summer.
84. What?
Over 84. I mean, we kept it at 84.
Oh, because of the air conditioner.
Yeah.
The air conditioner's gone.
Right. Right. And so, honestly,
It's cooler than it's.
oh yeah, it's
Then,
much cooler. Yeah.
so let's crank this oven on, make some cookies.
That's what you want. You just want cookies.
I don't have any eggs.
Oh,
I get some eggs, make some cookies.
right.
I want to fix this.
Yes, I know you want.
You know, knowing the way things work
Mm-hmm.
around here, I bet I'd go up into storage and there will be a perfect block just sitting there.
I would be very surprised if there's not.
Okay.
'Cause that's your luck.
That's how things go around.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you for all your work, honey.
You betches. Thanks for putting up with it.
No, stop it.
Telling you.
This is a follow-up video of Jim's gimbaled stove repair. Don't you love these labels he put on here? So we have, this came with the boat. Previous owners had it. It's a cutting board that covers up the stove. And yes, I have a lot to clean up here on the stove. But this is this little pin right here. You're going to see it come out of this piece of wood. Just like that. And that's, whoopsie, that's how, whoopsie. Oh my goodness. Okay. Maybe, oh, I think this has to latch. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is a gimbaled stove, which means these are fiddles. And so much of this needs cleaned up. You put your pan in here, you put this on here, you tighten it down, and then your pot stays over the burner. And so you put the fiddles away when you're using it, and then as you heel over, just as Jim said, then you're God, I gotta clean this stove. Then it heals with the boat so that it doesn't drop off. Anyway, so here is the finished product. It looks like he built this up. He put the old piece back on, put another piece on top of it, and that way when you put in, because we have to lean on here to get into the cupboards to get the dishes. And I actually have to have a footstool to get up on it, and then when I lean on this, it can't gimbal or you're going to take a tumble. So this goes in that hole just like that. There you go. And then this is on here all the time. Whoopsie, except when we're cooking. That's a better part. Just like that. So that I can reach, this is as far as I can go. So I have to get up on my stool, lean over the top of this, and open to get the dishes out. And so that is the finished product. That is the gimbal preventer that Jim has MacGyvered. And he did a great job. Now it's my job to get this all cleaned up and get this done. But now with my barkeeper's friend, oh my goodness, I am going to make it shine. Okay, that is the end of the gimbaled project repair. Okay, cheers. Find things on the boat.
Preface by saying what?
Jim just got yelled at because he wasn't filming.
Yeah.
And he always finds things on the boat that makes him want to start a project.
Yes, exactly.
Like he found at the bottom of the refrigerator, looking for a battery, he found a old Coke bottle of maple syrup.
Well, when we moved, our maple syrup bottle leaked, so we washed out a Coke bottle and put it in there. Actually, it's Pepsi. I'm a little ashamed.
Where did we even find a Pepsi bottle?
And we put it in there just so it wouldn't leak, so we would have maple syrup. And we've actually had pancakes once on the boat because I found an old pancake in a Ziploc
I'm not sure
as
that
well.
didn't come from DC.
No.
Anyway, so the minute he finds this old bottle of maple syrup, he goes, "Oh my God, we have to have pancakes!"
Exactly. But then we cleaned out the entire refrigerator.
It's just...
And
we're in the middle of Ophelia, a tropical storm, so
Yeah.
Jim can't go outside.
can't go outside.
So he ripped up the whole
But we're defrosting because our freezer got a little frosted over, so we're defrosting. And we had some old ice bags in the very bottom when our refrigerator wasn't working.
Our inverter wasn't working.
Our inverter wasn't working, yeah, right. So anyway, we took care of that. So here's the contents of our refrigerator.
So then he just comes out and says, "Do you have any Windex?" And I said, I gave him the usual suspects, where a vagina would find some Windex.
Windex is awesome.
And he says, "Because I've taken the mirror off of the forward head's wall."
Well,
because
they ran
there's
wiring
behind it.
Yeah.
And
what
so,
are you gonna do?
Rain, go away. We need sunshine.
So
Ace can go back outside and leave my boat alone.
This is all necessary work.
Yes, dear.
So this is what happened. This fan back here was rattling.
Oh my God, here we go.
So I took it apart and cleaned it. See, and very nice. And I'm going to put it back together. But when I put it back together and installed it, something happened and there wasn't power to the fan anymore. So I had to check the wiring, and there was a bad wire. These wires are, been around a little bit. And I took out my ancient voltmeter that our electrician makes fun of. He doesn't really make fun of it. He just admires the antiqueness of it. Anyway, and it worked. And so now I have live wires. And these are DC, 12 volt DC wires, so they're not hurting anything. And I put in some new to me wires that don't look in too bad shape. So now I've got live wires, but the fan isn't working. So now I have to take apart the fan and clean it and put it back together and see if I can't get that to function again. But while I was checking out these wires, they're actually tied into this little lamp, which works fine. Always has the entire time. And there was actually, I'm glad I took it apart because there was a wire nut back there, and we're not supposed to use wire nuts on the boat. So I replaced it with the proper connection. Here, one of these guys. I have a bunch of wire nuts, but I only use them for temporary testing. But in order to get to those wires to check them out, I had to take off the mirror because they're wired in the wall back here. And now that I have this off and everything's good and I'm ready to put it all back together, but it's a little dirty, so I'm just going to clean it. And the best cleaner probably in the world is Windex. So that's why I needed Windex.
It's
And I
bad
couldn't
for
find
the
any.
environment.
Windex is? It's just alcohol. Alcohol's bad?
I wouldn't put it
Don't
in
tell my alcoholic friends that.
I wouldn't put it in the bay. I wouldn't dump that in the ocean.
It's just alcohol.
Is it though?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are those magic chemicals that says no streaking?
I think it's the belief in the product that causes it to clean the way it does.
Simple green, baby.
Yeah, that's good too, but it smells bad. Windex is
They
awesome.
make it in lemon now.
Ooh, that just sounds sick.
It smells bad. But it smells like a boat. When you smell simple green, you think of a boat.
Got a simple green, these snaps up here. Those screens back there that go over to Companionway. Companionway is closed because of storms, but those are great too, but they're a lot of work getting in and out. Anyway, but it's a joyous work.
I almost caught
All
you.
right, I'm gonna go
almost
clean.
caught you.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
It's a chunk of ice that was around our refrigerator.
That's
Or
like
freezer
2 inches thick,
cavity.
right?
It's thick, yeah. It's
That's crazy.
big old. So I'm pretty sure we needed to defrost it. I really don't remember defrosting refrigerators. I remember my mom defrosting.
Oh yeah.
She had to
Oh.
shut everything down.
Oh, I think
and
we did
defrost
when
once
we
in a while.
lived in like our first house.
We had to defrost. I don't remember doing it.
Yeah, I think so.
And so I don't know how or why or anything like that, but
I think it'll
ice
run
in
more
a
efficient.
in a freezer is a good thing.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be defrosted at a certain point. You lose all the space inside.
Yeah. Yeah, just like when you paint your apartment. Every time you paint it, you lose space.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, the stove is actually working well. We're very happy with it. Everything's looking good. We're broiling some chicken for the first time. I don't know how well we can see in there, but there's some light. I don't know if that helps or not. But the broiler's working. I actually cleaned it out with a wire brush, so all the little holes have flame coming out of them, which is kind of what you want. I think the thermostat works well. The oven's weird. It has the bottom back has like a 1/2 inch gap in it that you can see through it. So it's like that's your vent, your broiler vent, I guess, your oven vent. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I think it's supposed to be like that, but I do need to look it up. Look up and see. See if that's true or not.
You're
Hello,
so good.
darling.
Hello, honey. You've done so many projects today. You don't do well on rainy days.
I did just fine.
You
I
did.
worked on a fan that's, somewhere close to being fixed.
No, I'm so proud of you.
Defrosted the refrigerator, and that's about it. Brushed the dog.
Yes.
Dog, aren't you
He's
pretty,
so
dog? You pretty dog.
I wish you could see how much this boat is rocking back and forth right now.
I just baked my first real thing, a little tomb casserole, and I think it probably did okay. Didn't get as hot as maybe I normally would have it, but
I think it's 325 is what we typically cook.
that's what this
bake on.
says.
Okay. Awesome.
I was
Perfect.
shooting for 350.
Yeah, I think 325
But
for
I
30
cooked
minutes.
pizzas
Oh.
that are supposed to be at 400, so I just had to go longer. That's all. Just like William says, cooking is just you get it hot, and then when you're ready to eat it, eat.
William of William and Stephanie. They had their e-bikes stolen.
Yeah, they had these awesome electric bikes, fold-up electric bikes on their sailboat that they rode all the time, and they offered to lend them to us to check them out, to try see if we wanted
know.
electric bikes, and we thought that was a great idea, and then they just got them stolen. We took them into BC and left them. I don't know the details,
Right.
but all I know is they weren't sitting on them. I didn't even know that, but I assumed they weren't sitting on them.
We don't know. Okay, well, it smells delicious, honey.
I'm glad. Come and get it.
Okay.